Hi students, welcome to SP Chemistry. In today's session, we will study class 10, subject science, chapter acids, bases and salts, concept acids and bases, sub-concept chemical properties of acids and bases, link concept indicators, idea about metals and non-metals. For today's session, contents are understanding the chemical properties of acids and bases. Dear students, in my previous session already I have discussed what are acids, what are bases and what are the physical properties of acids and bases. So if you have not watched that video, you can check it out. Link is given in the description box. So watch that video first, then it will be convenient to understand. The next content, acids and bases in the laboratory. How do acids and bases react with metals? And at the end of this session, we will discuss some evaluative questions and answers. At the end of this session, the learners will be able to state the properties of acids and bases, identify the change in color of different indicators with acids and bases, and write the reaction of acids and bases with metals. Let us start understanding the chemical properties of acids and bases. So acids and bases in the laboratory, how can we test what are the acidic substances, what are the basic substances? We can use indicators. So indicators tell us whether a substance is acidic or basic. Already we have discussed these things in previous sessions, still just I am repeating. Blue litmus turns red in acid, phenolphthalein colorless in acid, methyl orange red in acid. Then these things how you can remember. Blue litmus, BAR, I told in the last session, BAR, that means blue litmus in acid turns red, and phenolphthalein colorless in acid, PHC, then this one methyl orange. Okay. In acid, methyl orange is red. Similarly, indicators lead litmus turns blue in a base, that is RBB, round bottom bottle, जैसे round bottom flask, round bottom bottle, RBB. Then phenolphthalein in base pink, PBP. Then methyl orange turns yellow. Methyl orange in base turns yellow. Right? Okay. Then olfactory indicators. There are some substances whose odor changes. Odor means smell. Changes in acidic or basic media. These are called olfactory indicators. Example, vanilla extract has a characteristic pleasant smell, and onion also. Onion has characteristic smell, and the smell of onion is not detected when basic solution like sodium hydroxide is added to a cloth stripe treated with onion or onion extract. Then clove oil also is an olfactory indicator. In acid, its smell will be detected. Similarly, garlic, ginger also olfactory indicators. Let us discuss here acids and bases. Here some samples I have considered. HCl. HCl, it is an acid. Sulfuric acid, HNO3, that is nitric acid, and acetic CH3COOH, that is acetic acid. So all these are acids. So how do they change color? Red litmus, no change. That means it remains as red. Right? That means no change. Here blue litmus turns red. Right? Then phenolphthalein, colorless in acid, colorless. This is also all are acids here. Only this four colorless. Then methyl orange, red in acid. Methyl orange as such orange in color and its color turns red in presence of acid. And all these are HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, H2SO4 sulfuric acid, HNO3 nitric acid, and CH3COOH, it is acetic acid. Then sodium hydroxide NaOH, calcium hydroxide CaOH whole 2, KOH it is potassium hydroxide, MgOH whole 2 it is magnesium hydroxide, and NH4OH this is ammonium hydroxide. All these are bases, right? Then how do they change the color? Red litmus turns blue, RBB, then color will be blue. Since these are bases, red litmus turns blue in base, right? Then blue litmus, no change, that means blue litmus remains as blue. No change means what? Blue litmus will remain as blue, same color, no change in base. Then phenolphthalein turns pink in base. Then methyl orange turns yellow in presence of this. So dear students, here how can we remember easily? I will say you how I was remembering when I was at school level. Always I was confusing how this can be remembered. Then I have made one shortcut trick at that time. जैसे BAR for litmus already I have said. Blue litmus in acid turns red. Then RBB, round bottom bottle, that means red litmus in presence of base turns blue. Then regarding litmus, I think no doubt BAR bar, that is blue litmus turns red in acid. RBB, round bottom bottle, you can remember red litmus in case in presence of base it turns blue. Then phenolphthalein and methyl orange. For phenolphthalein I remember ऐसे AC रूम में एक BP पेशेंट है, राइट? AC रूम में एक BP पेशेंट है. AC, that means A for acid, C for colorless, then B for base, P for pink, then PT, shortcut of patient, PT for phenolphthalein. Right. Then AC रूम में एक BP पेशेंट है, ऐसे you can remember. Then methyl orange, बच्चों को मत मार, बच्चों को मत मार नहीं तो बाय करके चले जाएंगे. That means M for methyl orange है कि नहीं? Methyl orange, then A for acid, then R for red, then B for base, YE for yellow. So for phenolphthalein you can remember एसी रूम में एक बीपी पेशेंट है, और फॉर मिथाइल ऑरेंज यू कैन रिमेंबर बच्चों को मत मार नहीं तो बाय करके चले जाएंगे. ठीक है. सो यू कैन रिमेंबर एनी वे, यू हैव टू रिमेंबर ऑल दिस. सो नेक्स्ट, how do acids and bases react with metals? Then the metals which are more reactive, and these which are more reactive we will study in electrochemical series, that reactivity series. Then hydrogen displaces hydrogen atoms from acids as hydrogen gas, right, and forms a compound called salt. For example, here you can remember, right, acid reacts with metal and gives salt and hydrogen gas. Zinc is a metal, dilute sulfuric acid and zinc sulfate, it forms the salt zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate is when it absorbs 7 water of crystallization, it is known as white vitriol. Objective question, white vitriol, and H2 is liberated as gas. So you can remember, you can summarize, acids react with metals to form salt and hydrogen gas, but not all metals. Those metals which are more reactive than that of hydrogen, that means in reactivity series those metals are present above hydrogen. And which metals are present above hydrogen? Just to remember, above hydrogen so many metals are there, but below hydrogen which cannot displace, that is I remembered as Kamsi-Plago: copper, mercury, silver, platinum, gold. Just I was remembering shortcut trick so that there will be no chance of committing any mistake in the exam. So these metals cannot displace hydrogen. All other metals, all other means which are more reactive, we will discuss this reactivity series in detail in next metals and non-metals chapter, right? So here this activity we can perform in our lab. In this test tube, this is a test tube stand, and in this test tube here zinc granules are taken and this colorless dilute sulfuric acid, right? This is dilute sulfuric acid is taken. Then when zinc granules react with this dilute sulfuric acid, it reacts to form zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas when it is passed through soap solution. This soap bubbles filled with hydrogen gas. Then how can we confirm it is hydrogen? If we burn a burning matchstick or burning candle, then that hydrogen gas burns with a puff sound, right? Burning hydrogen gas with a puff sound. And this experiment we can perform in our lab, and this is an example of displacement reaction, that is zinc plus H2SO4. In chapter 1 already we have discussed different types of chemical reaction. That means zinc is more reactive than hydrogen and zinc displaces hydrogen. So it is an example of displacement reaction. And this zinc is a metal and it reacts with acid to form salt and hydrogen gas, right? Similarly, when few pieces of granulated zinc metal are placed in a test tube and sodium hydroxide solution is added, that means BESH, hydrogen gas is also evolved, and here reaction you can write sodium hydroxide plus zinc, it forms Na2ZnO2, that is sodium zincate and H2 hydrogen gas. In the same way we can test this hydrogen gas by burning matchstick. It burns with a puff sound, and the hydrogen gas formed in the above reaction, however such reactions are not possible with all metals, right? And here another example also you can take, sodium hydroxide with aluminum, it also form NaAlO2, sodium aluminate plus H2. It is not balanced, you can balance it out. Then so this is for today's session. Now we will discuss some evaluative questions. Question number 1. Why should cod and sour substances not be kept in brass and copper vessels? So why cod and sour substances should not be kept in brass and copper vessels? Because these and other sour foodstuffs contain acids. As we know, acids are sour in taste. So these contain acids which can react with the metal of the vessel to form poisonous metal compounds which can cause food poisoning and affect our health adversely. Right? That is why these are not be kept in brass and copper vessels. Then question number 2. Which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with a metal? So which gas? That is hydrogen gas. Right? Then illustrate with an example. How will you test the presence of this gas? So this activity which one I told that an apparatus we can set up as shown in the figure, already we have shown, and zinc granules will be taken in a test tube and some dilute sulfuric acid when it is added. About dilute sulfuric acid, also you can take dilute hydrochloric acid, zinc plus HCl also you can take. Then it forms salt ZnCl2 plus H2. If you balance it, you will get 2 HCl. Right? And this hydrogen gas can be tested with a burning matchstick. And hydrogen gas is not soluble in water. When it is passed through soap solution, it gets trapped into bubbles, soap bubbles, and when a burning candle is brought near the soap bubbles filled with hydrogen gas, the soap bubble bursts and hydrogen gas burns with puff sound. Then question number 3. Metal compound A reacts with dilute HCl to produce effervescence. That means A react with HCl to produce effervescence. That means one gas. The gas evolved extinguishes a burning candle. So dear students, as we know, carbon dioxide gas extinguishes fire, that is a burning candle, and write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction if one of the compounds formed is calcium chloride. So here salt is given, calcium chloride, CaCl2 plus CO2. These are products given. And from this sentence we can know the gas extinguishes burning candle. That means that gas is CO2. And here calcium chloride it is given, another product, calcium chloride. And HCl, this is also given, reactant, and A will be calcium carbonate. Right? This is calcium carbonate. So how you can write balanced chemical equation? CaCO3 within bracket, its state is to be written solid 2HCl, HCl aqueous, it forms CaCl2. This is calcium chloride associated with water plus CO2, that is gas, and H2, that is a liquid. So dear students, these are answers to evaluative questions. You can note it down. So thank you all.